Imagine a world where listening to music meant owning it. You had shelves filled with CDs, piles of cassette tapes, or hard drives full of downloaded songs. Every track had to be bought, copied, or stored somewhere. Then suddenly, one company asked a question that changed everything. What if you could listen to every song ever made, instantly, without owning any of them? That simple idea didn't just change how we listen, it changed the entire music industry. That company was Spotify. Before we dive into the full story, if you love learning how technology reshaped our world, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us bring you more stories like this. Spotify didn't invent digital music, but it perfected the way we experience it. It turned access into the new form of ownership. It gave artists new ways to reach fans, and new challenges too. It transformed record labels, radio stations, and even how songs are written. But this revolution didn't start in a giant Silicon Valley office. It began in a small apartment in Stockholm, Sweden, with two men frustrated by a simple problem: music piracy. In the early 2000s, music was in crisis. The rise of the internet had made it easy to share files, and people were downloading songs for free through services like Napster and LimeWire. It was the Wild West of music sharing. Millions of people were getting songs illegally, and the industry was losing billions. Record labels were suing college students, artists were fighting back, and fans were caught in the middle. The music industry desperately needed a solution, something that could make legal listening as easy and appealing as piracy. Enter Daniel Ek and Martin Lorentzon. Daniel was a young tech prodigy who had already built and sold several online businesses. Martin was an entrepreneur with experience in advertising and startups. Both loved music, and both saw the chaos piracy had caused. They believed there had to be a better way. What if, instead of fighting the internet, the music industry embraced it? What if people could listen to music for free, legally, supported by ads, or pay a small fee for a better experience? That idea became Spotify, founded in 2006. But convincing the world wasn't easy. Back then, streaming music online seemed impossible. Internet speeds were slow, record labels were scared of losing control, and musicians distrusted tech companies. But Daniel Ek had a vision. He wanted Spotify to feel as smooth as having the song on your computer: instant, reliable, and high quality. No buffering, no lag, no piracy. The team worked obsessively to make that vision real. They developed a clever technology that let Spotify stream music incredibly fast by using peer-to-peer sharing, similar to how torrents worked, but legally and securely. When you listen to a song, part of it came from Spotify's servers, and part came from other users nearby. That made streaming fast and efficient, even on weak internet connections. But technology alone wasn't enough. The real challenge was getting permission from record labels. Without their music, Spotify would be useless. So Ek spent months negotiating with the big labels: Universal, Sony, Warner, and EMI, trying to convince them that streaming was the future. At first, they laughed. Piracy had made them defensive and skeptical. But Ek offered something different: a legal way to reach millions of listeners instantly, with both free and paid options. Slowly, one by one, the labels agreed. Spotify launched in Sweden in 2008, and nothing in music would ever be the same again. When Spotify first appeared, people were amazed. You could type almost any song, hit play, and it started instantly. No downloads, no storage limits, just music on demand. It felt like magic. For listeners, it was a dream come true. For the industry, it was a lifeline. For the first time in years, people were paying for music again, not by owning it, but by streaming it. Spotify's model was simple but powerful. Users could listen for free with ads or pay a monthly fee to go ad-free and download songs for offline listening. That model, known as freemium, became a core part of the company's success. It allowed millions of people to try Spotify risk-free, then slowly converted many into paying subscribers. But what truly made Spotify stand out was personalization. Instead of just being a giant library of songs, Spotify became a music discovery machine. The company's algorithms learned what you liked, your favorite genres, artists, moods, and recommended songs you'd never heard but would probably love. Playlists like Discover Weekly and Release Radar became iconic, curating music for every listener automatically. Suddenly, you didn't need to hunt for songs anymore. Spotify brought them to you. This personalization changed how people connected with music. It also changed how artists reached their fans. Musicians no longer depended only on radio or record stores. They could upload music directly to Spotify, where algorithms could surface their songs to millions. Unknown artists could become global sensations overnight if the right playlist picked them up. It was a democratization of exposure, something the industry had never seen before. But not everyone was happy. As Spotify grew, many artists began to question how much they were being paid. Streaming royalties were tiny compared to traditional album sales. For many smaller artists, millions of streams didn't translate to much income. Critics argued that Spotify favored big labels and top-charting artists while leaving independent musicians struggling. The debate over fair pay for streaming became one of the most controversial topics in modern music. Still, Spotify kept growing. After launching across Europe, it entered the US market in 2011. A risky move because of competition from Apple, Pandora, and others. But Spotify's user-friendly interface, vast library, and smart recommendations quickly won people over. By 2015, Spotify had tens of millions of users and had become the world's largest music streaming service. One of the keys to Spotify's rise was its focus on user experience. The design was simple, the sound quality was excellent, and the playlists were addictive. Spotify didn't just offer songs, it offered moments, moods, and memories. Whether you were working out, studying, relaxing, or driving, Spotify had the perfect soundtrack. That emotional connection made users loyal. Spotify also embraced data in a way few music companies ever had. Every play, skip, and repeat was recorded and analyzed to improve recommendations. This created a powerful feedback loop. Users got better suggestions, artists got insights into their listeners, and Spotify got smarter over time. Data wasn't just behind the scenes, it became part of the fun. The annual Spotify Wrapped feature, which shows users their most listened songs of the year, became a cultural phenomenon shared by millions every December. But Spotify's success also came with power and criticism. Some accused the platform of shaping music itself. As playlists became the main way people discovered songs, artists started writing music to fit them. Shorter intros, catchy hooks, and songs under 3 minutes became more common because they performed better on streaming algorithms. The music industry was adapting not just to listeners, but to Spotify's data-driven world. Despite controversy, Spotify continued to innovate. It introduced podcasts, giving creators a new space to share stories and discussions alongside music. It invested in exclusive deals, signing big names like Joe Rogan and the Obamas to podcast contracts worth millions. This move turned Spotify into more than a music app. It became an all-in-one audio platform, competing with YouTube, Apple, and even radio. Through all its changes, Spotify's mission remained the same: to unlock the potential of human creativity by giving 1 million artists the opportunity to live off their art and 1 billion people the chance to enjoy it. Whether or not it has achieved that goal is still debated, but there's no denying Spotify changed the landscape forever. Before Spotify, the music world was built around scarcity. You had to buy what you wanted. After Spotify, it became about abundance. You could have everything, anytime. That shift redefined value in music. Songs were no longer products. They were experiences, endlessly accessible through the cloud. Today, Spotify has over 500 million active users and tens of millions of tracks. It has reshaped how we listen, how artists release, and how the industry measures success. Charts now track streams, not sales. Albums are designed to maximize plays, not just tell stories, and new artists from any corner of the world can rise without traditional gatekeepers. Spotify didn't just change the music industry, it rewired it. It turned music into a living, breathing ecosystem driven by data, creativity, and connection. It brought the world's songs into your pocket and gave you the power to explore them all. And to think, it all started with two guys in Sweden trying to stop piracy. If you enjoyed this story about how Spotify revolutionized the music industry, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us create more stories about how technology and creativity keep reshaping our world.